Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm using my new Polaroid IE-X29. I'm probably going to do an overview about this soon. I tried to do one last night, but couldn't do it. I was tired and everything, and I kind of split it into two parts using my Canon camera. But anyway, yeah, I got this. It was about $59, probably about 64 when you count a $5 payment plan. That I do recommend, I do recommend one thing. I recommend to anybody that's going to get a camera in the future, whether it's 59, 39, 69, 89, always get the payment plan. That's all I'm going to say. But I also want to talk about something today as I head to work. And what I want to talk about basically is this year's World Series. It's a historic one because of the fact that it's basically a Central States World Series in a sense, and a Northern Central States World Series. You got basically the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs. Cleveland, I don't think has been to a World Series. I mean, they probably have been. Let me rephrase that. I believe Cleveland has been to a World Series. I just don't think they've ever won a World Series. Hold on. Sorry about this. One thing about the difference between a microphone and a camera is you have to hold the camera down so people don't think you're filming them. But anyway, I want to talk about this year's World Series. You see, it's historic for the fact that I believe Cleveland has been to a World Series, they just never won one. And the fact that they even say it's historic because of the fact that they've never hosted a World Series. It's like they've gone to a World Series, they've always started the World Series basically as the visiting team. In other words, the National League team they would face would always be the home team. So with that said, even though they may have been to a World Series, they've never actually won one, or they've never actually hosted one. Now, with that said, we look at the Chicago Cubs, and they had not been to the World Series since 1945, and they've never won a World Series since basically 1908. So you're looking at a 71-year drought ended. You're looking at a 71-year drought ended by Chicago last night, and hopefully a 108-year-old drought, hopefully in the minds of the Chicago Cub fans, ending as well. You hope for that to happen. Now, the question is, why are people looking at this as being historic? Why are they looking at it as a historic World Series? Hold on for a sec. Again, sorry about that. Like I said, the big difference with a camera and a microphone or digital voice recorder is with a digital voice recorder you can go on standby or pause it. Here you could pause or even stop and just add on another scene, but that's a different story. But what I'm getting at, what I was trying to say is, why are people looking at this as a historic World Series? Well, there's many reasons for it. There's many reasons why they're looking at it as a historic World Series. One, like I said, Chicago's never been there since 1945, and they've never won it since 1908. Cleveland has never won a World Series as far as I know. And it's historic because they're hosting it for the first time. So basically it's a big deal for both cities and teams and their fans. Because you see, this is something they've all been waiting for. And now both teams have that momentum that they've been wanting. They have that momentum that they've always been known to have, but they've just never put it all together till now. Now the question is, will this be a 4-game sweep by either team, or will this go the distance? Well, it all depends on who has the momentum. Right now, Cleveland is unbeaten in the playoffs. So you might say that's going to be a hindrance to Chicago because they're facing a team that is yet to lose. But then again, you look on the Cleveland side of things and you realize, well, here's a team they're now facing that potentially could end that streak. So the question's going to be, who wants it more? Well, I think it's going to be decided not in 4 games, it's going to be decided in 7. That's what I feel. It's either 6 or 7 games it's going to be decided in. I just have this feeling. I just have this feeling it's going to get decided in 6 or 7 games. Hold on for a sec again. Again, big difference. Like I said, the question, like I said, it's going to come down to either 6 or 7 games because I believe Chicago is going to be the ones that end the streak, and I believe it's going to end, maybe not in game 1, but it's going to happen in game 2. I guarantee you. The first 2 games are going to go to Chicago. One of the first 2 games. Now, there's something else I want to bring up before I head to my job. Oh, as I'm heading to my job anyway. And that is, does this end the curse? Well, like I said in that Topics on My Mind audio vid that I did, in a podcast kind of style, the curse never existed at all. It was all in the mind. It was all in the mind, and it was all being just talked about out and everything and hyped up about, out all for publicity. for merchandise, for financial gain, stuff like that. There was no real curse at all. No real curse. It was all mentalness. And now, hopefully after last night, a lot of fans have realized that that's all it is. It's been nothing but a mental game. Not a mental game being played on your mind. Nothing else. It's been nothing more than a mental game played on your mind and nothing else. And I think hopefully a lot of people have realized now that that's all it's been. It's never been anything more than a mental game. There's been no curse, there's been no goats, nothing. It's all in the mind. It was all just basically made up to gain publicity and to make money off of. That's all it is. So that's all I'm going to say on this year's World Series. Again, I believe it's going to go 6 or 7 games, and it's all going to come down to who wants it most. And that's about it. So right now, I'm heading into work, and that's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think down below.